Hello, everybody. It's your old pal Carmel. I am here in the weed man cave, or as we call it, the cave of weed. Right, the cave of weed. We're right here. Anyhow, I just posted another video a minute ago about my brand new pair of running shoes that I won. The Lord smiled on me. Anyway, I started thinking about it, and I said I did not post my post, nor did I did a pre-race video on the 6 Mile Memorial Day run with Southeastern Trail Runs up at Oakmount State Park, which is kind of where I run. Anyhow, so my bride and I went up to see my son who lives there in Birmingham, and I guilted him because Father's Day was coming up. I guilted him into running, and yeah, I kind of shamed him. I don't know. I did something, but anyway, I got in his crawl a little bit. He says, "I'll run with you," and so I was happy. It's a 6 mile, so it doesn't take a lot to do it. You just need a pair of shoes and a bottle of water, and you're off and running. Um, no pun intended, or pun intended. You take it as you need to. Anyway, so we had to get up early to be there at the race. Although the race didn't start till 8, I think. Yeah, I think it was 8 o'clock. Um, anyway, we get there. So he's, what do I need to take? And I was like, no, you don't need anything. This is trail running. I've gone through all the iterations of trail running that you hear about. You first start and you buy all the gear and you think you need all this junk, and then ultimately I settle on. I like my Coros watch because I'm a little bit of a stat geek. I like to see that stuff. If it's a long run, I'll wear my one of my belts. I've got one belt from Ultra Aspire that's just got two 20-ounce bottles on it. And then I got my Nathan Croft vest, which has got two 20-ounce bottles and a bladder in the back of it. And you can get, I carry stuff for so many years now that I'm starting my 4th year trail running. Um, and I thought about it. I said, I never have ever used that stuff, like a medical kit, some of those things. And if I was really going on a long run, like a truly long, like a point to point 100-mile race, or something, yeah, I probably need to carry that. But on the runs I do, a lot of them are loops. 25-mile loops might be the furthest loop you make, but you're still hitting aid stations. A lot of stuff's unnecessary. So I'm slowly becoming a minimalist on my running, and I kind of like it. So anywho, I'm trying to train him up so he doesn't waste a bunch of money like I did. So we took off on this race, and I decided here after the uh, the 50K at Mount Cheehaw, after I actually tried to run hard there, and I'm not fast by any stretch of the imagination, but I usually run to complete, not to compete. Just I'm out there just enjoying the nature, the scenery, the social aspect of it, talking to people when I run, and that talking to people has got me into trouble where uh, now I'm in a social bond with these people on this trail and don't want to leave them. Anyhow, so this race, I didn't do that, nor did I do that on the Mount Cheehaw. I had Caleb with me pushing me because he's way better at this than I am. So he drug me to success on that one. And then this one, I just said I'm gonna run a little bit harder. Um, I'm gonna push myself a little bit, try to push my comfort zones a little bit. So I took off, and I'm nowhere fast enough to get up into the front. Because if you ever run these races at Oak Mountain, when you come out of the BMX park, you hit single track after you do the loop, and then everybody gaggles up as they hike up the side of this dam for this lake, and there's just no getting around that. Even this year, I took off a little bit faster than I normally do to try to be a little further up into that group, and I think it did help a little bit because the next time that I got slowed down by people was on the downhill. There was a group of people, and it just was not a good place to get by them, and I guess I should have said something, but I was not out to win that race, but I did want to beat my time. Um, so anyhow, we get up there, clipped that first mile in like 12 minutes and something, which was pretty outstanding, considering we spent probably 4 minutes walking up the side of that friggin' dam to get up on top of it. 3 to 4 minutes, I would say, probably took to get up there. So what did it really cost me? Maybe 2 minutes overall. Because anyway, Griffin didn't have trail shoes, running with his own shoes, his walking around shoes, and he did outstanding. I was very proud of him. He did very well. He could have left me, and I told him to leave me. He says, "No, we're gonna finish together." I'll get back to that finishing together later. So anyway, We hit the hills, and I tell them, I said, pace yourself. Don't try to go fast at these hills when you first start, and walk the hills, both ups and downs, and run the flats. That's how I was taught. Um, especially since you don't have good running trail shoes, something to grip, you start running down a hill with a slick bottom shoe, that could be fatal. So anywho, he can walk faster than me, and he's lighter than me, so he went up that hill pretty quick. I got to the top. We stopped for a second, looked around, and then because you got to admire the view, otherwise why do it? So we probably spent 10, 15 seconds admiring the view, and then we took off. And did pretty good. Running those hills, starting to get a little bit hot because it was really cool before we started off. I was like, well, this is the coolest temperature-wise race I've run up here during the summer. It was in the mid to low 70s. It was nice. But I had this feeling that it was going to turn into a freaking cooker, and dude, by 9 o'clock, an hour into this race, we got on top of that mountain, and it was just horrible. The heat hicked up. Wasn't as bad as it's been before. I've been to some bad heat races, but it was definitely a culture change from the beginning of the race to there as far as the heat index. So I try to manage my heat because I got heat issues. So I didn't want to push it too hard because I wanted to finish strong. So and I knew I run downhill much better than I do the uphill. So I figured I'd make up my time on the downhill, and I did. Except for I was coming down the hill, like I said, I got backed up behind some people, and then we had passed each other back and forth a couple times, and I hated that. So I said, when I pass them this time, I'm going to be ready, and I'm just going to run all out and put some distance between us and them, so I never see them again, because that does get aggravating, I know, for me and for them, us leapfrogging. So coming down that hill, I left old Griffin. So I knew he could catch me. I knew I couldn't catch him, so I left him on that hill coming down, and then he caught me as we started to get to the little whoop-de-doos, heading back into the start finish line. And my goal is always not to be lapped, but lo and behold, I heard on your left. I was like, crap, because it wasn't a voice I've heard before, and it was this young guy coming by lapping us. So I did get lapped. So some dude ran 12 miles in a time, and less time it took me to run 6. But hey, that's all right. I wasn't there for him. I was there for me. So anywho, and then so Griffin said, "Yeah, we're gonna finish together." Well, not so together in Griffin's mind. At least I needed to qualify that statement with him. So we coming into the end down there, and he's just taking off, and I said, I'm good. I'm gonna beat my time, and I beat my time by like, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds. So friggin' win right there. I was good with that. After the race, felt pretty good. Heat was an issue. It was borderline for me. I could have pushed harder, but I'm still trying to find where that boundary is, because I don't want to push myself to being ill. And everything's in preparation for the 48-hour race in October, because that's my main focus this year. I'm shooting for that 100 miles in that 24 hours this year. And then for my age group, state of Alabama, there is nobody with for 52 years of age in the state of Alabama in a 40-hour race. So I'll be the first one unless somebody else beats me to it. Anyhow, and then my stretch goal is I'd like to do 140 miles in 24 hours. But we'll see what's going to happen with that this year. I got a whole new game plan for that. But anyway, that's the race report for the 6-mile Memorial Trail Run with David Tosh and Miss Mary Jo at the South City Trail Runs. And then thanks again for Hunter Lane for an ultra for the opportunity to win these friggin' shoes. They're fast looking. Look at those things. No matter if I finish last, I'll finish fast, right? So gotta love it. And then I always love my 307 fellows and family. Don't die in the chair shirt. We got to work out today. I wanted to die in the chair because it's 1,000 degrees out there cutting that grass. But anywho, get out there, enjoy Mother Nature, get on the trail, hike, or if you don't want to run, hike it at least. And the next big race is the Hotter Than Hell race. 8 and 18 miles, 9 and 18, whatever it is. Up there at Oak Mountain State Park, end of July. So looking forward to that. Just doing the 9-mile version of that, and my son Griffin's going to run that with me as well. So that should be fun right there. So I'll give you a pre-race report for that once we get a little closer. Doing my heat acclimation training now. Trying to do at least 3 to 4 hours a week in the heat. Running, walking, doesn't matter. I just want to spend the time in the heat, so my body's used to it. So cutting grass today didn't hurt that at all. I I GPS that. Cutting my grass was about a mile of walking and weed eating stuff. So that's kind of funny. But life's good. I'm enjoying it. My health's good. My body's holding up pretty well. So anyway, and these videos, they're strictly for me. I'm gonna look back on them and when I'm an old dude and remember how stupid I was doing these crazy things. Anyway, love y'all. Get out on the trails.